Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my first impressions look on the Jordan Heir Series, right? So this shoe is 110 bucks. I did get it a little bit late. It is on sale right now actually for like 93 bucks. So if you guys do want to cop, I try to leave in the free link in the description box. If you do choose to get this shoe, it does help me out if you buy it through the free link in the description box. But yeah, this shoe is actually like a women's shoe kind of, you know what I mean? Like to make this shoe, Jordan Brand asked a lot of women athletes or women hoopers to make this shoe, which I don't know why it would be different. You know what I mean? It's a hoop shoe, and like guys and girls, like it's just like, oh, I want this. You know what I mean? Like, but anyways, this is what they came up with, and this is what women wanted, I guess. So we'll have to see on if it's good. But they did say it is more for like agile players that want really good court feel, and my gosh, this has really good court feel, like too much court feel in my personal opinion. But yeah, let's get it started off with the Trazione. So first of all, I want to point out, look at this. I guess I am embarrassing myself because, you know, I'm showing how dirty my floors are, but I promise it's not my fault. I vacuum every other day, and it's just super dry also out here in California, but also my dogs shed a lot. Either way, you can see all the dust. My bad. You can see all the dust is big. Look at that. Oh my, I don't know if it's coming out on camera, but it's just so much dust, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, when I first got it, it seemed to be biting pretty well, you know what I mean? You know, on my wood floors, you know, but it doesn't feel amazing. It is using herringbone. You know, we got some, you know, herringbone pods, you know, very thin lines here for the pods, and then a thicker herringbone going throughout the entire outsole, but nothing amazing, right? And also, like I said, it's picking up so much dust, so I don't think dust performance is gonna be that good. And also there's no squeak at all, zero squeak, which of course has nothing to do with performance, but I like to have squeak in my hoop shoes, you know what I mean? So that kind of sucks, you know. I definitely wish, I like to have a little bit of squeak, you know. And also as far as durability goes, I feel like durability would be okay, you know. Again, like where the thicker herringbone parts are, it feels pretty nice, but where the pods are, it feels not as nice because the rubber's a lot thinner there. But also that's where the highway area is, kind of like where the ball of your foot is. So that doesn't make sense to me. So I feel like durability will be okay, you know what I mean? So the traction, not feeling too good, right? Now moving on to the heel to toe transition. Heel to toe transition feels pretty good. Nothing amazing, right? So one thing I do like about the shoe overall is that they added an outside foam, which this shoe, if you didn't know, has a drop-in midsole, right? But they did add an outside foam, which I do like. You know, if you, for example, like in a lot of drop-in midsole setups, like the Kobe 8, Kobe 9, the Zion 3s, it's just like rubber. It's just really stiff and clunky in the heel, right? But I mean, they did cage it, but there is a little bit of compression here. So, and also a little bit of a curved shape as well. So it feels pretty smooth in the heel. But look at how flat it is. Look at this. Here in the forefoot, it's just really, really flat, which I don't like. In my personal opinion, I just like to have a little bit more curve, you know, so it just helps like put me on my toes, especially when I'm shooting and stuff like that. But there is a lot of forefoot flex, you know what I mean? And also a little bit of rebound back, not super springy, but yeah, overall heel to toe transition, it's okay. It's pretty smooth, right? And now moving on to the cushioning setup. So the cushioning setup is a little bit of a disappointment, right? So what caught my eye about the shoe, of course, was that it was using a drop-in midsole, right? So let me show you the drop-in midsole. It's pretty cool. So we do have the herringbone, right, on the bottom of the shoe. We have some flex screws as well, so it bends a little bit easier and it doesn't rip, of course. And we got the Jumpman logo here in the midfoot as well. And also we have the same thing, right? We have a really nice kind of very fine texture on top of the drop-in, right? So there are a couple things I do like about it, but also a couple things I don't like about this drop-in setup, right? So it is using Cushlon 3.0 foam, which is very, very nice, you know? Cushlon 3.0 is super duper soft, not super bouncy, but I do like it overall, right? And Nike and Jordan Brand tends to use Cushlon 3.0 in their kind of like cheaper shoes. But yeah, because of that really fine texture, it really grabs your sock and it feels really, really nice for lockdown, right? Which is, most drop-in midsoles feel like that, right? Also, another thing that I like about it is that it has a raised sidewall on the lateral side and also on the medial side, so it just kind of like keeps your foot in place. It helps with the lateral containment as well. So yeah, that feels really nice too. And also when you're feeling the foam, it's really soft, right? Cushline 3.0, like I said, very, very soft. But then that's where it kind of ends, you know what I mean? So yeah, this is crazy thin. Like, I can't believe how thin it is. Like, so here in the forefoot, when I feel it, it's literally like, it's like, how thick is that? Probably like this thick. It's like 10 millimeters, it feels like, you know what I mean? It's so thin. And then here in the heel, it's not even that much thicker, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, they were emphasizing that this is a very low to ground feeling shoe, which I believe that. It has the lowest to the ground feeling feel, you know what I mean? Like I've felt in a while, right? Even lower to the ground than the Sabrina 2s, which is kind of crazy. But then like, there is a limit to that, you know what I mean? Like I do, of course, I love court feel, and I feel like most guards love court feel as well, but it's, first of all, even though they are using Cushionline 3.0 foam, which is really soft and comfortable, it's not that nice, right? Step and covered, I would say is okay here in the heel, kinda, you know what I mean? But still like not even that nice. And then here in the forefoot is just absolutely crazy stiff, you know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, impact protection is not going to be good in this shoe. Underfoot cushion also does not feel very good. And, you know, because Cushionline is so soft, usually they make it a little bit thicker, of course, right? But then because it's so thin, I was, you know, kind of jumping around in it a little bit, you know, kind of like running a little bit in it, or like jogging a little bit. And I can literally easily feel my foot bottoming out the foam and touching and feeling the ground, you know what I mean? So impact protection is not gonna be good. Underfoot cushion doesn't feel very good. So yeah, that kind of sucks. You know, it kind of defeats the purpose of using a nicer foam. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel like they should have done something for that. Maybe use a little bit stiffer of a foam to have a buffer. You know what I mean? But of course that'll make this court feel worse. I don't know what they could have done, but like I just feel like they made it way too thin for the drop in. You know what I mean? Which kind of sucks. Like I said, I do like how they kept the foam here on the outside of the shoe, so we do have a little bit of compression here. But for the most part, it's not feeling that nice, you know what I mean? So there is the cushioning setup there. Moving on to the upper, so they are using a mesh material, and it literally looks and reminds me of a jersey material, right? So here in the toe box, and then here on the lateral side, as well as on the medial side, we have a very open and larger mesh material, right? So how does it feel? It feels pretty nice, you know what I mean? They are also using synthetic material overlays as well, which not the best for the quality, you know what I mean? It says Jordan brand here. But yeah, the mesh material you would think is really thin and very soft, but actually there's an underlaying material, you know? So because of that, it feels actually kind of stiff. You know, like a little bit on the stiffer side of things, like feels a little bit more rigid than you would think, you know? But you know, it feels overall supportive. It's not the thinnest material, but it's not super thick either. It conforms to your foot pretty well too. But yeah, I mean, I guess for 110 bucks retail, it's not the worst quality material, right? Also, of course, we do have this cage for support. You know, they were emphasizing that, right? So we have this very, actually, it's soft type of plastic, and it's pretty much like an independent kind of cage almost, you know what I mean? Because you can, it's not stitched to the upper on most parts of the like material, right? Besides like right here, that's the only part where it's stitched to the actual upper. But yeah, I mean, that helps, of course, add to the overall structural support to the shoe, and yeah, it feels really nice here in the midfoot. For the tongue, we do have a very open mesh, but not a whole lot of padding, right? It's also a half booty construction tongue, giving you a better overall one-to-one fit. And then here in the ankle area, we have like a normal amount of padding, but it's not like a super soft or memory foam like feel, you know what I mean? So that kind of sucks, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, not a huge fan of the material, right? The quality isn't the best, doesn't feel the best on foot either. And so yeah, there is the upper there. Moving on to the fit. So I went true to size with this shoe, and this shoe fits pretty dang long, right? So yeah, there's actually a good amount of length. So I feel like, you know, most people, like I would recommend just going down half the size. I don't know why there is so freaking long, but also I don't really mind it too much because, you know, it just has really good lockdown, you know what I mean? So that's what I love about drop-ins with this kind of like texture, you know what I mean? Like for example, like the Kobe's, you know, with the Lunarlon drop-ins, it has a really nice fine texture to it, which really grabs your sock. It kind of makes it annoying putting the shoe on though, because it scrunches the sock underneath your foot. But once you kind of fix that, it has really good lockdown, you know what I mean? So I don't really mind the extra length in this shoe in particular, but it is long. So if you don't like that, then go down half a size, right? But also here in the toe box, it's pretty freaking roomy. So I don't like that either, you know what I mean? Also with this mesh material, I feel like once I break it in, it'll be you know, it'll give a little bit and make the fit a little bit roomier in the toe box. I don't like that either. And then width wise is a little bit wide. You know what I mean? It's like normal to wide. So just not the best fitting shoe for me. And it's just weird because like women, like, you know, women's sizing as well. Like women have a little bit more of like a narrower foot, you know, which makes sense. But then like, why is it so wide in this shoe? You know what I mean? So anyways, I would suggest going down half a size. If you have a wide foot, then you should be fine going shooter size, I guess, right? So there's a fit there, just not a great fit for me. Moving on to the support, I feel like the support's gonna be really good though. You know what I mean? Like a lateral containment, you do have this cage, you know, and the overall material with the underlaying kind of like material, it feels pretty dang supportive, right? So here in the forefoot, here in the midfoot, also here in the heel with an internal TPU heel counter, it feels good. You know, overall lateral containment feels nice. Lateral stability, not the best. There's nothing actually protruding out, which kind of worries me a little bit, but because it is a wide shoe and wide base, I feel like it'll be pretty good. And also, you're so freaking low to the ground, so I feel like it'll be good, right? And also, not really experiencing any type of heel slippage, and like I keep saying, that texture on the drop-in feels really nice for lockdown with the socks. So yeah, supporting lockdown feels good. And now moving on to the weight of the shoe, I mean, it feels pretty light. I'm guessing like just average weight, maybe 11, 12 ounces, right? Yeah, 12.2 ounces. Let's check the other shoe. 12.45 ounces, right? So that's a tiny bit lighter than average. The average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces. So yeah, I mean, it feels kind of minimal on foot, but like I said, the upper feels kind of stiff, a little bit rigid, and also the traction doesn't feel like it'll be super good right now. So I'm a little bit worried about that. So yeah, I'm not liking how this shoe feels too much right now, and also the cushion feels terrible, you know? So there's that. Moving on to the aesthetics, it looks okay. It looks alright. You know what I mean? Like this colorway is generic, you know, black and white. But I saw some other colorways. It looks okay. But definitely not my favorite. You know what I mean? So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yeah, this shoe's feeling terrible. You know what I mean? The traction feels very subpar. The cushion feels subpar. The upper, not a huge fan of. Not the best fit for me either. So yeah, I'm not really liking this shoe that much. You know what I mean? But that can all change, of course. But we'll have to see for the full performance review. But for my first impressions, I'm not really excited to try these out and play in them tomorrow. You know what I mean? So anyways, that about concludes my first impressions look on the Jordan Heir series. Again, if you guys do want to copy, try to leave in the feeling link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.